new wall on Friday. He toured a 2-mile section near Calexico, California. A plaque proudly decrees that this is the first section of President Trump's border wall. During a discussion with border officials, he was told border agents can't handle the recent flood of migrants coming through Mexico from El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala. In El Paso, Texas, some congresswomen visited a border detention facility. California Congresswoman Lauren Underwood.
It's heartbreaking. I've never experienced anything like we saw today on U.S. soil, and I will take back to Washington a commitment to ensuring that we do everything in our power so this never happens again.
This is USA Radio News.
There's no question you need omega-3s, but which form should you take? Fish oil or krill oil? Scientists have debated this for years. Luckily, there's a new solution to satisfy everyone. It's called Krill Omega 50 Plus. It combines ultra-pure fish oil and joint-soothing krill oil together in just one tiny pill. It's so powerful, it can promote the health of your heart and your arteries. And if that wasn't enough, it can also boost your joint comfort in just days. Oh, sure, Krill Omega 50 Plus will work for you. We'll even send you a free bottle to put to the test. The debate is over. It's not fish oil or krill oil. It's both. And now it's free. Just pay $4.95 for shipping and claim your free bottle. Call now. 1-800-399-6392. 1-800-399-6392. That's 1-800-399-6392.
There's a warning from the Consumer Product Safety Commission to stop using a Fisher-Price baby sleeper. Fisher-Price has also issued a warning about the Rock-and-Place sleeper, citing reports of 10 infant deaths since 2015. The commission says the infants who were 3 months or older rolled from their backs to their stomachs or on their side while unrestrained. A bipartisan group of lawmakers are trying to halt the deportation of some 1,000 Iraqi nationals. In a letter to the Department of Homeland Security and ICE, the members of Congress say the Iraqis, who include religious and ethnic minorities, would face what they term grave danger in Iraq. The letter urges the administration to use its authority to defer deporting the group and instead consider each case for humanitarian waivers. According to the members, the group includes many Christians who face active persecution in Iraq. You're listening to USA Radio News.
With a recession ending, if you've been putting off building your business, now is the time to act. General Steel will meet or beat any price on a pre-engineered steel building of the same size and specifications. Act now, before steel prices go up. So call us today for free information.
Call 800-965-1290. 800-965-1290. 800-965-1290.
A national organization says raising speed limits over the past 25 years have contributed to the deaths of 37,000 Americans. USA's Chris Barnes has more.
The president of the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, David Harkey, says reasonable speed limits play a crucial role in reducing traffic fatalities, and maximum speed limits, he says, have been rising since the mid-1990s. Proponents of raising the speed limits often argue such increases simply bring the law in line with reality, since most drivers exceed the limit anyway. Once the limit is raised, though, drivers seem to go even faster. Later this month, the Institute, along with members of the Governor's Highway Safety Association, are planning a forum on the speed problem and ways to address it. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
The man accused of pretending to be a missing boy is in federal custody, and his brother says he's stumped over why it happened. More from USA's Rick Vincent.
DNA tests have confirmed a young man wandering the streets in Kentucky is not Timothy Pitson, an Illinois boy who disappeared at the time his mother committed suicide in 2011. Jonathan Reaney, brother of Bryan Reaney, the person who falsely claimed to be Timothy Pitson, was left clueless by the entire situation.
Honestly, I do not know. I do not know why he would do anything like this.
He says his brother has Asperger's syndrome and bipolar disorder, but should have the rational thinking of not doing something like this.
Take us with you on your mobile device and listen anytime at usaradio.com.
Due to an upturn in the economy, Main Street Business Loans has pre-approved the release of millions of dollars in small business funding. Your business may already be pre-approved to receive up to $250,000. We've sent out millions of pre-approval letters. We see the economy growing, and our underwriters believe now is the time to invest in your business so you can grow faster and make more money. And we're prepared to give you up to $250,000 to do it. Your funds can be available in 5 days. There are no application fees, no annual fees, just quick access to up to $250,000. If your business did not receive your approval letter to get up to $250,000, call Main Street Business Loans Approval Desk now.
800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. That's 800-430-7570.
Welcome to the Garden America Show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to join us as we talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do with the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 1-855-424-9825. That's 1-855.
Am I?
Fan base that thinks it's hot, Brian.
Yeah, fan. Why they wouldn't know now because they can't hear me. Hey, those in San Diego, welcome. Tuning in on AM 1240. The rest of you streaming via live Biz Talk Radio. Tiger working on Facebook right now, trying to get that up and running. And now we have audio. Now, should I start the show over again?
No, please don't.
Should I go back? Please don't. Nice guy. Hey, Tiger Palafox, he's here. He's happy to be here. John Bagnasco, tan, rested, and ready. A lot to talk about today. Welcome, Facebook viewers. Questions, comments on Facebook Live. That's where we prefer to have your questions, or you can call us at 855-424-9825. And I'll talk to John during the break about his email, john@gardentopia.com, because John gets flooded with emails. And the problem with that is the more that he receives, the more likely he is to miss a question because there's so many.
I think it's just funny when he goes to answer the questions and then can't recall what we talked about in the show.
And I know some people, they ask a question and then the following week we may address that, and some people miss it and then they'll ask it again. It does happen. So, yeah. And then I know during the week people ask questions on Facebook. We'll try to do our best during the week to answer those.
So speaking of that, though, so one thing hit me this week when it came to gardening, because as you know, my family owns a retail garden center, and we do landscape installation and maintenance and all that stuff, right?
Mission Hills Nursery for those here in San Diego.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Well, one thing that kind of shocked me, aside from general scared of plants, meaning scared of killing of plants, that's I think people's biggest fear when it comes to gardening is they don't want to kill a plant, which makes sense. But aside from that general fear, I think the next step is planting a plant. Like some people are the kind of person that come into a garden center and they just pick out plants and they take them home and they plant them. And there's just kind of zero fear of what they're going to do. They just go and do it. Other people, though, have this complete, like, mind-numbing experience that when they think of planting a plant, they just can't do it. They can't conceive of how to take it out of the pot correctly. How big do you dig the hole? How much soil do you backfill with? Should you use a fertilizer? Should you not? And it's just overwhelming to them. And we'll go out and install plants for people because of this. They'll pay us a good amount of money
just to dig a hole
and plant a plant. And for me, it's an everyday thing, which I don't even think about it, and I just plant plants.
Take it out of the pot, plant it, little osmocote,
but some people,
fertilizer.
it's just is next level for them.
It's the same thing I do with electricians. I can look at an outlet and I feel just the way you're describing.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, how does power get from this wire to that wire? How does it turn a light on?
And if I touch this one,
Yeah,
shocks me. And
I'm
this
just gonna call someone.
Yeah, but no, that's it. And so, you're talking about, when we were starting the show, you were just talking about how people visit something over and over again, and it's and this is one of those things that people don't know how to plant a plant properly. And I'll be real in saying that there's really not a lot that goes into planting plants.
Well,
There's a few details. There's a few plants, for instance, like bougainvillea. Bougainvillea doesn't like to have its roots disrupted at all.
Probably the worst plant to try to transplant.
It is very tender to being transplanted. There's a good chance that out of 10 of them, even me planting them, I'm going to lose 2 or 3 of them, kind of.
And it's nothing that you've done wrong. It's just the plant is just really nervous about being transplanted, or talk about transplant shock.
Yeah, exactly. So, aside from, plants like that, which there's very few population of plants like that, but if you go to plant a citrus tree, it's a really easy thing. I mean, these things are in very heavy soil. They don't need a lot. They're good, hardy trees.
Right.
As long as you plant it and the roots are, being covered by soil and you water it every once in a while, citrus tree is going to grow.
Well, let's take the trees out of the equation for just a second.
Okay.
Go back to like just planting flowers or shrubs or things like that. People, I think, the people you're talking about tend to overthink it.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't. It's just my mind explodes. I can't even think about it. When really it's not that hard. You could even, without even using fertilizer for the most part, stick it into the ground, give it some water. Now you should fertilize, of course, and take our advice to some degree.
It helps.
It helps. But I mean, really, aside from various trees and maybe exotics, things like that, it's not that hard, and chances are you will succeed.
Yeah. You will. Yeah, exactly. And
don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it. I mean, and then there's people that, watch the videos and get as much information as you can. But, there's the videos out there that say, break up the root ball or do this or do that or cut the pot away and all these other things. And people go, oh, no, this is a lot to do just to plant this one flower, when it's just a matter of take it out of the pot, drop it in the hole, get it some water, get it some fertilizer, and you'll be good.
I wish we had a close-up of John right now.
His face is smirking.
He's amused.
Here, I'll get him right there.
He's
now
amused.
He's on.
He's amused. That's funny. That's funny.
John's probably the most anti-work gardener. He's the guy that's giving advice to rosarians. Like, I don't prune my roses. And meanwhile everybody else is like, prune them every year.
Or prune them in January 5th, February 2nd. This year, This year I pruned my roses when I got around to it, which was still in the same time frame between December and February. Right, John? Anywhere between that time here in San Diego.
Pretty much.
Here in San
Diego.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Colder parts of the country.
You got to wait.
You're starting to prune right around now.
Yeah, because
maybe towards the end of the month.
And then Mother's Day, for those of you under snow, that's when you can really get out there and start your garden.
And when the snow melts and you can see your rose bushes again, the way you trim in back east is you go through and cut out all the dead wood. Really, that's
dead parts
true.
of it. No,
you have black stems, and you've got to cut them out.
Hey, I want to remind our listeners and viewers here on Facebook about our podcast, which are up on the iHeart Streaming, iHeart Media Network. You can download the iHeart Media app and then find I almost said Garden Compass, Garden America. That goes back to some people who have listened to us for a long time. Anyway, look for the Garden America app in iHeart Radio, or go to the link that John puts in the newsletter every week.
By the way, in this week's newsletter, I wrote an article called Beyond Uncle Ben's Wildest Dreams.
Saw that.
And it was about rice flowers. And I mentioned in the article that they were difficult to find. And I got an email from Patty in San Marcos, and she said, what a coincidence. I was just in Home Depot last week, and I saw those, and I was wondering how they would do here. And she goes, thanks to your article, I know.
And
well, that's great.
Rice flowers are one of those great filler plants for bouquets and things, too.
Oh, yeah, it's a great cut flower.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic cut flower. So anyway, I guess if you're in the San Diego area, I don't know about other parts of the country, you can go to Home Depot right about now and get some rice flowers.
Yeah, and there's some real pretty varieties. And they've, as everything.
Yeah, they did come up with a pink one recently. I don't know if it's still
available. They're getting them more compact, as they do with everything, because the standard rice flowers is giant, wispy, unnatural looking or natural looking bush.
Right, yeah.
And they make it more clean and
kind of
rangy.
Yeah. Yeah, not something you'd really want in your garden. It's
So
true.
plant it.
It's true.
So last week's podcast was on tomatoes, right? We did tomatoes.
Yeah.
It is uploaded on iHeartMedia. And again, you can also check out those podcasts, as I mentioned. If you get our newsletter, just click the link below the newsletter to go straight to our podcasts. And, by the way, speaking of that, you've got to be a newsletter subscriber to be part of the raffle.
Right.
You've got a raffle coming up, Tiger. What's that all about?
Yeah, we have a $500 package. It includes a veggie pod, some fertilizer, some seeds, some tools, some pest solutions from Natural Guard. And we're going to be raffling that away for anybody that's a member of the newsletter group. And, it's coming up, I think. Yeah, we're doing it this weekend. So
Today, we're doing it today?
Yeah.
Wow.
What?
So
Caught me by surprise.
Yeah.
So
we're excited about it.
So you don't have time to sign up?
No, they can sign up now. You're doing it today at the end of the day.
Oh, okay.
So sign up now.
Okay, so go to gardenamerica.com. Top right-hand portion of the homepage, you can sign up for our newsletter. We don't share anything about you. We don't share your address. We don't share anything as far as personal information. And then you'll know what's happening as far as upcoming shows, different articles that John writes, and occasionally Sharon will have an article for us. So do that to be qualified for that raffle and to be part of the newsletter club, as Tiger put it.
I thought we were sharing cell phone numbers. We're not doing that anymore?
We're not doing that anymore?
You want to share phone numbers? We can go back and do that if you'd like. Hey, right now we're going to take a break, come back with John's quote of the week. Our guest is also standing by. If you have any questions for one of us or our guest, pick up the phone, 855-424-9825. Do I dare say John at GardenAmerica.com? I don't know about that one. Best way to get a hold of us, questions, comments right there on Facebook Live. We'll address them immediately. I'm Bryan May, and he's John Bagnasco. Tiger Palafox stepping aside, taking a break. John's quote coming up next.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Do you owe $10,000 or more on at least 2 federal student loans? Then you may qualify for new programs offered by the Department of Education. These programs can reduce your interest, lower your payments, and possibly qualify you for loan forgiveness. If you have $10,000 or more and at least 2 federal student loans and currently not in school, you may qualify for one of these programs. Call now to check your eligibility. Student loan advisors are standing by to help you determine if you qualify for these new programs. They can help you reduce your interest, lower your payment, and even forgive a portion of your student loan debt. Take control of your financial future. Make this free 5-minute free call now to Nationwide Student Loans and learn how you can reduce your student loan debt.
800-439-1588, 800-439-1588, 800-439-1588, 800-439-1588.
Does your water stain and damage your fixtures? Does it smell or taste bad? Are you worried about what's in your water? Water quality should not be painful and worrisome. Get HydroCare water systems from Wave Home Solutions with the most advanced purification technologies. Call Wave Home Solutions today at 1-888-989-WAVE or go to wavewater411.com. HydroCare will eliminate limescale that causes hundreds of dollars in damage to pipes and appliances without using salt. Well water will no longer smell or stain your fixtures. City water will be purified of harmful chlorine, lead, arsenic, and chemicals. Wave Home Solutions provides the cleanest, healthiest water at every faucet. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 1-888-989-WAVE, 1-888-989-WAVE, or go to wavewater411.com. That's wavewater411.com.
Wave Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home. My mom's a breast cancer survivor. The United Breast Cancer Foundation saved her life. Their free breast cancer exam caught the cancer early, and it saved her life. But now the foundation needs your help so they can continue offering free or low-cost breast screening exams, saving more women's lives. Help them by donating your car, whether it's running or not. They'll provide fast, free 24-hour pickup, and you receive a charitable tax deduction, plus the great feeling you'll get knowing your donated car is going to help save more lives. Just call 800-295-4183 to set the wheels in motion. They take cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, running or not. Call 800-295-4183. The United Breast Cancer Foundation needs your help, and your donation could literally save women's lives, helping them catch breast cancer early, like they did with my mom. Donate today. 800-295-4183. 800-295-4183.
Missed an episode of your favorite show? No worries. Catch all the episodes on demand at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
Yes, you survived the break. That is a good thing. We are back live, Facebook Live. And for the rest of you here in San Diego tuning in on AM 1240, thank you so much. Biz Talk Radio, streaming around the world across the country, 855-424-9825 to reach us. And, of course, Facebook Live, questions, comments. John's got the quote. Our guest is standing by. Let's do it, John.
Yeah, the quote is from an English writer, Iris Murdoch.
Iris?
Yeah, and she said, "People from a planet without flowers would think we must be mad with joy the whole time to have such things about us."
And she lived when, thereabouts?
Late 20th century.
Late 20th century.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, that said, Tiger, people, you know that Facebook Live is a place to ask your questions. Also, Biz Talk Radio, 855-424-9825. Our guest is ready. Jan is standing by.
All right, excellent. This morning we have Jan Johnsen, a wonderful garden writer, author of many books, and landscape designer and pool designer. She's going to be joining us this morning, and we're going to be talking about her new book, Gardentopia, where it has all kinds of inspirational ideas for landscape design and some great tips when it comes to designing your outdoor space. Jan, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Well, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us this morning.
I love listening to you guys talk. It was great.
Yeah, it's usually a bunch of follies.
Don't plant the plants too deep. Don't make the hole too deep.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah, it'll find its way, right? Hey, so Jan, I wanted to first, because I had asked John when we got here. We went to England last year, and we were able to go to the Kifsgate Garden, and when we were there, they had this wonderful pool down in this lower area where John found me pondering my thoughts and deep in meditation. And it just reminded me of your inspiration images from your pool designs and stuff, where there was a lot of these natural stones. It was very natural looking. And I was wondering, like, did you get it seems like you like the natural look of things with using true elements. Is that kind of your vision in a lot of these designs?
Yeah, you really nailed it. I mean, I've been, I studied landscape architecture in the early 70s in Hawaii, and before that I was working, and so those were my influences at a young age, and I think I've just kept them, that kind of natural setting. I just love it.
Good. Well, it definitely comes across in some of the designs that you lay out in your new book. And, I don't know, are these images from the new book, are they places that you've worked or places where you've gotten ideas from?
Oh, most of the photos are of projects that I've done. My husband and I have run a landscape design build firm for 33 years. And so we've done a lot of projects. So luckily I have all those photos. And then, of course, I include all these wonderful public gardens that people can visit. So I make sure to note where those photos came from so they can go see it.
Oh, that's a great tip, because a lot of people need to know that, they can go and visit this, because seeing the garden sometimes is way better than actually just seeing it in a picture, right? You know, being able to walk
Oh,
up and see
boy.
the landscape itself.
Oh, yeah. Like, of course, I'm from New York, but my son lives in Los Angeles, and the only thing I ever want to do is go to Huntington Gardens. You know, that's
Yeah.
What do you want to do, Mom? I said, I want to go to Huntington Gardens. You know, there's no substitution, like you said.
Tell us a little bit about what inspired you to write Gardentopia, and is it out on bookshelves now?
Oh, thank you. It just came out on Tuesday, so I'm still in that flush of excitement, you know, of my book is finally out. Yeah, it came out on Tuesday, and it's been very well received. I'm like overjoyed. But it has 135 tips or rules, and the way this came about is kind of interesting. In addition to doing designing and writing, I also teach, and for 7 years I taught a design workshop graduate course at Columbia University and also in New York Botanic Gardens. And in every class, one student would always ask me, what are the rules, you know, for landscape design, for creating a beautiful garden? And I would always answer, there are no rules. You have to know proportion. You have to know scale. You have to know the best plants to grow. And that would not satisfy them. They were not happy with my answer, of course. So when I was working outside, because I do this for a living, I would, as we're there doing something, I'd say, well, that's a good rule, although I hate the word rules, you know, so I would say, you know, tip, and then I'd do something. I say, that's another good rule. And so I made up easy to remember phrases for each of these tips, like window in the garden or hide and reveal or lure of the sheltered corner. And I would share it with my students. And after I got to about 40 of them, I realized, oh, you know, I really should share this with a larger audience.
And so then you developed another.
That's how this came about.
But then you had 40, so then you developed another, what, 95?
100, yeah, right. How many? 85? Well, you know, once you kind of get in the groove, it comes along, you know, like I have one section just on color in the garden, and another section on theme gardens. And although I live in New York, you know, it can absolutely be translated into Southern California gardens, I think.
Well,
you know?
One of the very first rules that I saw in your book, and I think it's the most important one, is, you know, visualizing the space. You know, you talk about how take your time, visualize the space, and don't think you're going to visualize it overnight. You bring an example of, if your idea is to put a low sitting wall in this area, you know, spend a couple days going back, visiting the area, seeing it from different angles, and eventually that low sitting wall will come to your eyes and you'll see it. And this is, I think, something that people don't do enough, is just take their time when it comes to laying out their space, because they're impatient, or they feel they can't visualize it. So therefore they just kind of do it because they feel they need to see it in order for it to appreciate it. But no, you bring up a good example. Take your time. It'll come to you eventually and you'll see it, and you might like it. You might not like it. You know, it's, you know, at that point in time, but at least you didn't waste a lot of time or money or effort in putting something in that you ultimately will not like, or, you know, at least if you do it, you'll feel confident that it's the right decision, right?
And that is a great skill, to try to visualize things. And I used to give myself headaches, you know, staring at this kind of empty yard and trying to imagine what a low sitting wall would look like, say. But it really does come to you. It's kind of interesting how that happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
It really does. The other thing that I tell people is, like, say if they're laying out a little sitting terrace or something, always make it bigger than you think you need. So many people do it, and then they plop the furniture on, and of course it's too small. And so I say in the book, I say, take some blue electrical tape, lay out where you might want furniture, or just use 100-foot tape of some sort, and just lay out how big the furniture is before you put in the paving.
Yeah, some great tips. And Jan, we're going to take a little break right now, but when we get back, we'll talk about more tips that we can find in Gardentopia, the new book that's out by Jan Johnsen.
It is Gardentopia. Questions for Jan and one of us. The number to call is 855-424-9825. Want a quicker response? right there on Facebook Live. Love to hear from you. I'm Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, of course, Tiger Palafox, and our guest, Jan. We're going to take a break, coming right back on this Saturday morning here on the Garden America Show.
Guaranteed life insurance with no medical exam. Sounds great, right? Even better, your rates will never increase and benefits will never decrease. If you're a U.S. citizen between 50 and 80, you can get life insurance guaranteed. It's not guaranteed in every state, and you may not qualify for every policy, but when you call, you'll speak with a licensed insurance company. They'll give you all the details about guaranteed life insurance. So call now, 1-800-238-2037. 1-800-238-2037.
There's more than one way to invest in your education. Investing in the right products, securities, and real estate generates secure and sound futures. What about an investment that retains its value? Consider college real estate. College real estate can provide housing for students and generate returns for their families. Through this special offer from Austin iLabs, you can download the free workbook from collegerealestate.com to see if this investment is right for you. Go to collegerealestate.com/radio.
I can't get my computer to work.
Let me help you with that.
How'd you do that?
I just got techie with Geeks on Site.
Our geeks literally come on site. No need to stop what you're doing or block off time. We come to your home, office, or wherever you are. And we don't just fix whatever computer issues you might be having. We explain and teach you along the way so you can feel empowered and then help others at home or in your office. Better yet, don't have time for tech support to come to you? Let us remote into your desktop or laptop, and one of our geeks will instantly walk you through. Call 1-800-584-9039 and we will help you instantly. We offer affordable prices on our remote services and IT support. You and those in your office will never have to wait hours to have your technical questions answered. Get your free computer diagnosis today with your very own geek. Call 1-800-584-9039. That's 1-800-584-9039. And get started now.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait.
Call 800-605-5370. 800-605-5370. Call 800-605-5370.
National Funding Group has just released $100 million in easy access small business funding to businesses that gross at least $100,000 a year. You can have fast access up to $500,000 in new business capital in as little as 48 hours. Think about the ways you could grow your business if you had up to a $500,000 cash infusion. Call a NFG funding expert now. The process is easy. It only takes about 5 minutes. Then our management-owned lending team looks at your application for a fast approval. You can get 100% funded in about 2 days. If you need up to $500,000 in working capital to run your business and you gross at least $100,000 a year, call NFG and apply today. 800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. That's 800-296-1564.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-915-9658. 800-915-9658. 800-915-9658. That's 800-915-9658.
Watch some of your favorite shows on Biz TV. Check to see if you get Biz TV by going to biztv.com. And now, back to Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
We thank you for joining us on this Saturday morning. Those watching us, viewing us on Facebook Live. Those in San Diego tuning in on AM 1240. Thank you so much. Biz Talk Radio, streaming around the world across the country. 855-424-9825 as we continue with our guest, Jan. And again, the book which we're referring to, Tiger, is?
Gardentopia.
Absolutely, and we are back.
135 inspiring tips to transform any backyard garden or lawn.
Go ahead.
That was it. I was just finishing it.
Well, I was just going to mention Jan also wrote another book that I wanted to ask her quickly about because I'm building a new home and my son wants to work rocks into the landscape. And Jan mentioned that she studied in Japan, and you know, rocks to them are just as important as the plant.
Right, sure.
And she wrote a book called The Spirit of Stone. And Jan, I was wondering, would that give me tips on rock placements?
Oh, yes. You know, The Spirit of Stone, which just came out maybe 2 years ago, it's all about stonescaping. And you'd say, well, what do you have to say about rocks? Oh, my goodness, there's so much to talk about when you talk about rocks. And I always tell people, you know, they're minimum maintenance, they're weather tolerant, you don't have to water them. You know, they're just great.
The only negative thing is they break your scissors.
Yeah, they're tough to deadhead.
But, you know, rocks always set the plants off so beautifully. You know, when you have some beautiful fern or something planted to a natural stone, it just, the scene is enhanced.
Is there a way to I know you wrote a whole book on it, but to briefly discuss the Japanese theory of stone placement in the garden?
Oh, yes. You know, in my talk on Spirit of Stone, I actually talk about the 5 different types of stones that they use in their gardens. And because they categorize them. So, for example, you might have a very tall, skinny stone that you set up almost like a towering tree. And just like trees are in the background of your garden, they set tall, towering tree stones in the back of the rock garden. So you have that kind of stone, and then you have the what they call the firestone, which is really a stone that has a lot of character with a lot of lines in it, and a lot of interest, and they're kind of like the interesting one, and you put that up, you know, in the front so everybody can admire it. There's a whole it's a whole approach to using rocks, just the way we use plants. They use rocks.
Yeah, and I think that comes out in the landscape, as you mentioned, John. I mean, you know, people forget about that because they are just one of those things that naturally sit in landscapes in general. But then when you do see a garden that has no boulders in it, doesn't it almost feel like there's something off?
Something's missing.
There's something missing, right? Yeah. And so, yeah, people should not forget that in the landscape design as far as where some boulders will go.
And it gives it a natural look, like in some cases, like this is just the way it is. This was all natural. It was there before you planted.
Before, exactly. But
all
I
gardens
think,
should have
And
some
especially
type of rocks.
where you live, you have these wonderful fine grasses. It looks almost like hair.
Yeah.
And
right.
And you contrast that with a natural stone. It really looks amazing.
But and you bring up another good point, Jan, that even for those people that maybe aren't real gardeners, where, you know, they don't need to fill every corner, nook and cranny of the landscape with a plant. They are a great way to take up some space and put something in there that still is aesthetically pleasing and, you know, functional. But then you don't have to take care of it. And it actually looks better the more it sits there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then the other thing I do with stones, and I write about it in Spirit of Stone and also in Gardentopia, is this dry stream idea where you create like looks like a stream, a arroyo or a dry creek, lined it with natural rocks, and then when you do get a rain, it acts to serve as a drainage basin as well.
Yeah, and I will tell people if you want some hints on that, and you will get some tips in Jan's book, but it's not as easy as it looks just to create a dry stream with rocks. There's different size rocks, there's different colors that you need to use. You need to grade properly to make it look like it's an actual stream.
Yeah.
People think like, oh, just go get some gravel and I'll put it in this
Some Mexican
pattern.
beach pebbles. And just
Yeah.
throw them in an area.
Yeah, exactly. So, that is a skill, not as easy, but you can do it with some tips. And Jan does have some great tips regarding that in her book. Now, Jan, you've written other books, correctly?
Yeah, I wrote another book called Heaven is a Garden about designing serene outdoor spaces for inspiration and reflection. What a name. But about creating serenity. And I looked to ancient traditions for ideas, like the way our ancestors did site planning. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
For example, and I talk about it in Gardentopia as well, is that all the cultures of the world considered east as the most beneficial direction. And you say, well, of course, the sun rises in the east and it's the morning and all. But really what it is that plants do their best growing in the morning. And so if they get the eastern light, that's the wise gardener's secret.
Oh, good to know. Good tip.
Is that fascinating?
Yeah. Hey, we had a question come across from one of our Facebook listeners. And what are some tips on choosing the right trees for a landscape?
Oh, that's great, because I also wrote a book called All About Trees.
Oh, my goodness.
Years ago. The tips about that, number one, as you well know, is how big the tree is going to grow, because, there's nothing worse than planting a cherry tree or something like that, and then it grows right into over the walkway leading to your house. People always do that. But definitely know how wide it's going to grow. If you get the wrong, if you want a tall tree and you end up buying a wide tree, but that's of course pretty obvious. But the other thing too is that if you want a tree that gives you all year round interest, don't buy the tree that has that one flush of glory in the spring and then looks like nothing for the rest of the year. That can give you structure and fall interest as well. I think that's important.
All right. Yeah. Jan, I want to leave our listeners with some more ways to get a hold of you, reach out to you, get your book. You have a website, right?
Thank you. Yes, I actually have a blog. It's called Serenity in the Garden.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on Blogspot right now. We're moving it to WordPress, but right now it's in Blogspot and Serenity in the Garden, and they can contact me there. And also on Facebook. I post every morning on Facebook. I'm one of those Facebook junkies. And so I have one called Serenity in the Garden blog on Facebook. That's the name of it.
And then you do operate a landscape design and pool design outfit as well. As you mentioned, you and your husband do installation. Where do you operate out of?
We operate out of New York, although I just went to California and did a wonderful project in Southern California. And it's Johnson, and my last name is Johnsen, Johnsen. Johnsen Landscapes and Pools. And we have a great website, johnsonlandscapes.com.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you very much for joining us this weekend, Jan. Lots of great information. Go out and get her book, Gardentopia, and look for Johnsen Landscape and Pools.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jan. We do appreciate it. Have yourself a great rest of your weekend. Okay, very good. So a few minutes here till the upcoming break, and I hope people derive something out of that. A lot to think about. Again, we don't want to scare people in terms of, saying, well, things are simple, but then things are complicated. But it's just a matter of doing a little bit of reading, doing some homework, maybe get a couple of books out. And then with that in mind, then do it your way.
Yeah.
Within the scope of how you should do it.
And one of the things you first mentioned, and I mentioned it, was the visualizing, is take your time.
Yeah.
Because, be in the space for a little while before you make a decision. They do. And, they end up doing a design, then they end up tearing it out, and then they get frustrated, or as John mentioned, plant a tree and then pull it out or move because the tree is way too large.
Right.
So you just take your time, be patient. It's one of the best practices. I'm learning it. I'm in that cusp of the millennial generation, and I want everything now, and I want it to happen yesterday. But when it comes to plants and landscaping, definitely take your time.
You got to take your time because usually when you decide something like this, it's for the long term.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than hurrying up and then planting it, and then for the long term, you've got to redo it again.
Well, especially if it's trees, right?
Yeah, definitely if it's trees, right? We were talking during the break, and we were establishing John as a plant guy, not so much a landscape guy, but there's a lot of things that he planted that had to have landscape concept in mind when planting it. Right. So, yeah.
Okay, it is break time. We've got one more segment, hour number 1 here. Those listening on AM 1240. And, of course, Biz Talk Radio. Questions, comments right there on Facebook Live. We'll jump on those quickly. Again, 855-424-9825 if you do want to give us a call. I'm Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox, Garden America taking a break.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
This is Joe Lample from Growing a Greener World. With the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite Organic Nitrogen Fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 3 months. The organic nitrogen is slow release and won't burn plants even during hot, dry weather. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for 90 years. Milorganite, for better results naturally. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and 3-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-935-0752 now and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you a copy of The #1 Mistakes Retirees Are Making with Their Investments Today and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-935-0752. That's 800-935-0752. Employees of J.D. Melberg Financial have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer.
Do you have a car, truck, van, or SUV you're not using? You can donate your unwanted vehicle to Patriotic Hearts to help our veterans, and you'll get a tax deduction for your donation. In today's troubled world, our USA Armed Forces stand ready to protect you, your family, and our American way of life. When veterans return to civilian life, they deserve your recognition and support. You can help put vets to work by donating your car, truck, van, or SUV to Patriotic Hearts. Your donation will directly support programs to help vets find jobs or even start their own business. Donate today for fast, free pickup of your vehicle, running or not. Operators are standing by to answer questions about making a tax-deductible vehicle donation. Call 800-330-2462 for 24-hour response. Again, 800-330-2462. 800-330-2462.
If you suffer from heartburn or other digestive-related disorders, then there is a new, safe, better, and natural alternative to better digestive wellness and heartburn relief. Praxid not only provides relief of heartburn, but Praxid takes a 360-degree approach to support better digestion, protect you from harmful bacteria, and also balance your stomach to improve digestive functions.
We like to think of it as the multivitamin of digestive health.
It's the only product to combine all natural ingredients known for the digestive health properties into a single patented product. Praxid also comes in easy-to-carry packs. Praxid relieves and maintains a healthy digestive system. Praxit is available here for only $39.95. Shipping and handling is free, and your money back is guaranteed.
To take advantage of this special radio offer, call now. 1-800-829-5685. That's 1-800-829-5685. 1-800-829-5685.
It may have been a messy divorce that suddenly cut your income in half, but not your bills. It might have been an injury or illness, or your boss just cutting back. How you got in over your head. It only matters that you are and that we're here to help. If you've got over $10,000 in credit card debt and you can't ever see breaking free, then call Action Debt and do it now. Being in over your head is a vicious cycle. One day late, they charge you a late fee. Miss a payment, they double your rate. You just don't think it's fair, and neither do we. This is not bankruptcy or just a simple rate reduction plan. We fight for you using our proven experience in the insider programs that credit card companies try to hide. If you owe at least $10,000 to the credit card companies, you owe it to yourself to call Action Debt at 800-384-7099. Just because you got in over your head doesn't mean you have to stay there forever. Call 800-384-7099 today and we can be on your side tomorrow. 800-384-7099. 800-384-7099.
From Main Street to Wall Street, we have the business content you need. So sit back, take notes, and tell your friends about Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
It is our final segment, hour number one. Time goes by really quickly when you're having a good time talking about gardening. And, of course, Jan's book, Gardentopia, Landscaping, that was a great interview. Hopefully you learned something from it. And, again, it was Gardentopia, right, John? You've got the book in front of you, right?
I do.
Gardentopia.
Should I hold it up?
You can hold it up again if you'd like for our Facebook viewers to take a look at. Okay, Biz Talk Radio, 855-424-9825, John at GardenAmerica.com. Questions, comments on Facebook Live as we continue with our final segment.
Yeah, and if you're watching Facebook, you can go to our Facebook, and Susan sent the picture of me sitting at the Kiffsgate pool, pondering my thoughts. And...
Yeah, you were pondering, and that's on you. You loaded that on our page, right?
Yep.
So it's on our page.
It's on our page right now.
You can take a look at Tiger deep in thought.
You know, we've told this story before, but it's something that I'll never forget because that's when we saw the Kiffsgate Rose. I was the first one to see it, and I had to get hold of Tiger, and he was in that position down by the reflecting pool or whatever, just enjoying the view.
But he was a ways away from you.
And I was, what would you say, maybe 100 feet up in the air?
Yes.
Going
exactly.
up a steep cliff. And I wanted him to see this rose because it was so spectacular. So I took my life into my hands and made it down the cliff.
As quickly as possible.
As quick as I could. Called him, told him he had to come and see it. And then we made our way back up the cliff, though I think we found an easier way to go up than I did to come down. And when he saw the rose, he started laughing. And I was saying, don't you think this is great? I mean, why are you laughing? He goes, oh, no, I really like it. It's just that if I wanted you to see it, I would have called you on your phone.
or sent you a text. That's good. You made your way down the embankment and back up again.
Only a millennial would think of just call somebody and tell them to come see this.
You know, Jan brought up an idea or a point. You know, we're talking with you too, John, was that, people that are right now, it's spring, so they are considering redoing areas in their yard, and they look to magazines, they look to websites for inspiration, for ideas. But when talking to John, he gets his inspiration ideas from actually seeing the yard, and sometimes seeing it in a picture and actually seeing it in person is two very different things.
Right.
I do want to remind our listeners out there, if you are considering redoing your landscape and you need those ideas, right now is the time of year where a lot of local organizations on the West Coast and on the East Coast, it'll be coming up in the next couple months, are holding garden tours where, garden clubs hold fundraisers or organize 7 to 10 homes on a tour where you get to go and see people's yards.
They do that in your area, right?
Yeah, they do one in Mission Hills.
Yeah.
They do it in Point Loma. They do them everywhere. And, if rather than getting stuck into the website, just strolling, through pictures, go to these tours and look at people's homes. They invite you into their backyards, front yards, whatever it is, and you can see some of these plants, some of these design concepts, and you get to see it, touch it, feel it, and you it in your own
Well, I think, more than anything, by doing so, like obviously if you live in San Diego and you tour a certain part of the city, somebody's backyard, front yard, as you mentioned, it gives you an idea of what kind of plants will be successful and the others that aren't.
Yeah.
Somebody might say, these are doing really well. For some reason, these plants over here, for some reason, this species is just not doing well, maybe because we live too close to the beach or whatever. And that's another good idea. What are people having success with?
Right.
Well, one of the best books that I think was ever written for San Diego in particular was Ornamental Trees of San Diego, because it showed you the mature size of a tree, but it also gave you the address where it was located. So you could actually take your car, if you were interested in a tree, drive over there and see what a mature tree was going to look like. Because
to give you a little foresight.
Well, as Jan said, you've got to know the mature size of that tree before you put it in your yard.
Absolutely. How big are the roots going to be? Is it too close to the sidewalk?
Yeah.
All those things.
And it's great for San Diego because a tree in San Diego, like that's the thing. You go through a book, right, that gives description of plants. They give the description of plants for, I guess, the ultimate size, and in the East Coast, that sycamore can get 60 feet tall.
Right.
But in San Diego, is a sycamore really going to get 60 feet tall? And it might, but normally you see them maybe around 25, 30 or something. And there's these things that, different regions, the tree grows differently. But at the same time, that could be the thing for San Diego is, they say, oh, it gets, this tall, but it actually gets bigger because we're in San Diego where it's an ideal growing
And we have a lot of
environment.
microclimates here in San Diego as well. When you go from the beach to the coast, to the mountains, to the desert, right? There are 4 different areas of what we, like I say, people say, oh, you can go in the ocean and swim, and an hour and a half later, go to the mountains and ski.
Yep.
That's pretty much true here in San Diego County.
Well, you need to know the ultimate size of a tree in the time that you're going to be alive. Because
that's true.
Because it's great to use redwoods in the landscape, right? They're really versatile trees. They're beautiful. But if you think, oh, this tree's going to be 200 feet tall and have a 20-foot diameter or something, that's not going to happen in your lifetime.
No.
It takes 6,000 years for that.
And it's probably too big anyway, even if you did live that long. Imagine a 200-foot tree in your backyard. Yeah. And how big that root system is.
Yeah. So you do need to know, the rate of growth.
Right. And it goes back to what Tiger says. Slow down, take your time, do your homework. Because obviously it's important to you. You want it to look beautiful. You want things to survive. But again, slow down. And like Tiger and John mentioned, if you can, go take a look at one up close in person.
Well, what you guys were mentioning about taking garden tours this time of year to see things actually growing, think about if you go to buy furniture and you go to a furniture store, there's a big difference between seeing a couch
in the warehouse, right?
In the warehouse, and then seeing a couch that's in a room that's already decorated.
Yep.
A little vignette and go, oh, wow, I'd like to do that. It looks good.
Yeah. No, it's the truth. So, and so it's a great thing that's happening.
It's all we have on this show is the truth.
Yeah. It only happens during this time of year too. I mean, you very rarely hear of garden tours in the winter or in the fall.
Absolutely.
So, if this is something that's on your plan to do this spring, reach out, look at the organizations around you. They're going to have a garden tour. Go on it because you're going to get some good ideas.
It'll be well worth it, and that is going to do it for hour number 1. Hour 2 coming up 6 minutes after. Hey, thank you so much, those tuning in here in San Diego on AM 1240. You can go to our Facebook page, Garden America Radio, or flip over to Biz Talk Radio. Catch the streaming, 855-424-9825, and, of course, questions, comments right there on Facebook Live. I'm Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. We're going to take a break. We've got news coming up on many, and I mean many, of these Biz Talk Radio affiliates. And, again, we're back at 6 minutes after. Stay with us.
On the go. Download the Biz Talk Radio app. Available on iOS, Android, and BlackBerry. Biz Talk Radio. The opinions you hear on Biz Talk Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of this station, Biz Talk Radio, its management, or advertisers. The information on Biz Talk Radio does not constitute a recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or service. If you have any questions about Biz Talk Radio, contact us at 817-274-1609 or at biztalkradio.com. This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home.
USA Radio News with Rick Vincent.
President Donald Trump wants the leaders of Mexico, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras to do more to prevent migrants from traveling to the U.S. But when asked by Fox News if he's considered a Northern Triangle summit, he said there's no need for one. Cutting aid to the three has gotten his message across.
We've done very well without the summit. They understand. We stopped to a saving $550 million. Because for the last 4 days, it's been great. You see that whole stream is drying up.
Trump also this week gave Mexico a one-year notice to address drug trafficking across the border and illegal immigration, threatening to slap auto tariffs on the country if it did not do enough to combat the rise in drugs and migrants coming into the U.S. The president also tells Fox and Friends the Russia investigation is all a big hoax the Democrats want to keep playing because they've done a lousy job. The CDC still doesn't know the source of an E. coli outbreak in Georgia, Kentucky, Ohio, Tennessee, and Virginia that's left at least 72 people ill. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Hi, this is Wayne Alaruth, the capitalist evangelist. I'm here to introduce you to a special company with the potential to be one of the great all-American stories. Fortum Resources is a publicly traded, diversified natural resource company with oil, gas, and mining properties in North America and internationally. Fortum is led by Chairman Mark Bruner, the legendary oil man who built Ultra Petroleum from a 15-cent stock to $200 per share, creating $15 billion in shareholder profits. Mark has 30 years of experience in the oil and gas industry, overseeing contracts with Halliburton, ExxonMobil, and Hess. Fortum has over 350,000 acres of oil and gas resources, and more than half the acreage has been evaluated by world-renowned auditors Deloitte Touche. Fortum also owns the rights to the 180-square-mile City of Gold mining property. Fortum is traded on 2 global exchanges, U.S. ticker symbol FTMR. Repeat, FTMR. This is a rare ground floor opportunity to capitalize on a proven energy industry legend. Please visit FortumResources.com. That's Fortum, F-O-R-T-E-M, resources.com.
A police standoff this past week south of Atlanta left the gunman and his 2 hostages dead. The hostages were a 16-year-old boy and his mother, who was 8 months pregnant. Police say Anthony Bailey Jr. of Atlanta killed them and then himself after wounding 2 police officers. The woman's sister, Anitria White, tells WGCL she called 911 when she saw her sister's body in the garage.
And I ran to the door to ring the doorbell, and I didn't hear anything, so then I came around, and that's when I saw the blood, and I tried to get into the garage.
The standoff lasted around 16 hours. President Trump's personal lawyer on Friday asserted Mr. Trump's right as a citizen to keep his tax returns private and told the Treasury Department not to hand the returns over to House Democrats, foreshadowing what has the potential to be a far-reaching legal fight that could reach the Supreme Court. The lawyer argued that Democrats who have demanded to see Mr. Trump's tax information had no legitimate legislative reason to request it. To ask for 6 years of the president's personal and business returns flouts fundamental constitutional constraints. This is USA Radio News.
You can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
A bipartisan group of lawmakers are trying to halt the deportation of some 1,000 Iraqi nationals. With more, here's USA's Wendy King.
In a letter to the Department of Homeland Security and ICE, the members of Congress say the Iraqis, who include religious and ethnic minorities, would face what they term grave danger in Iraq. The letter urges the administration to use its authority to defer deporting the group and instead consider each case for humanitarian waivers. According to the members, the group includes many Christians who face active persecution in Iraq. For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King.
As we enter the Final Four of March Madness, there has been a long-running debate over whether or not to pay college athletes. Connecticut Democratic Senator Chris Murphy says the debate is an illustration of larger issues within the country.
I do think this is a civil rights issue. I do think it's emblematic of bigger problems we have in society where a small group of moneyed elites are taking advantage of the labor of a set of individuals who don't have as much political power. And so I do think this speaks to broader political realities in our country today.
Murphy wants the NCAA to compensate athletes, saying student athletes are making money for adults and not getting any of the billions of dollars. President Trump speaks today to the national leadership of the Republican Jewish Coalition. Vice President Mike Pence also scheduled to speak at the gathering. Trump flew to Vegas after attending a fundraiser Friday night in Beverly Hills by healthcare executive Lee Sampson. For USA Radio News, I'm Rick Vincent.
If you suffer from heartburn or other digestive-related disorders, then there is a new, safe, better, and natural alternative to better digestive wellness and heartburn relief. Praxid not only provides relief of heartburn, but Praxid takes a 360-degree approach to support better digestion, protect you from harmful bacteria, and also balance your stomach to improve digestive functions.
We like to think of it as the multivitamin of digestive health.
It's the only product to combine all natural ingredients known for the digestive health properties into a single patented product. Praxid also comes in easy-to-carry packs. Praxid relieves, restores, and maintains a healthy digestive system. Praxid is available here for only $39.95. Shipping and handling is free, and your money back is guaranteed.
To take advantage of this special radio offer, call now. 1-800-829-5685. That's 1-800-829-5685. 1-800-829-5685.
Welcome to the Garden America Show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to join us as we talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do with the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 1-855-424-9825. That's 1-855-424-9825 for your questions and comments. Or John at GardenAmerica.com. And if you're watching us on Facebook Live, you can also post your questions and comments right there on our page during the broadcast. Now, here's Bryan, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on the Garden America Radio and Media Network.
We are back. It is hour number 2, 6 minutes after. To our friends on the East Coast, we say good afternoon, happy Saturday, happy weekend to you. Bryan, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox, 855-424-9825. Want to give us a call? You can also reach us on Facebook Live, of course. Questions, comments on Facebook Live, and interact with each other as well. Want to remind you about our podcast. If you do get the newsletter, bottom of the newsletter, there is a link that'll take you directly to our podcast page. You can also download the iHeartMedia app. Look for Garden America, 2 ways to do it. But again, you should become a newsletter subscriber, no doubt about that. Go to GardenAmerica.com, top right-hand corner, become a subscriber. Now, speaking of that, what's up with this raffle? It's hour number 2.
Yeah, so if you subscribe to our newsletter, you're automatically entered into this wonderful raffle. It's a veggie pod, some fertilizer, some Natural Guard products, some seeds, some tools from DeWitt Tools, and everything that you need except for the soil, because soil is way too expensive to ship.
Yeah, absolutely.
But everything you need to get your spring garden going. And we can't talk enough about the veggie pod and how great it is to use.
Veggie pod's
and
amazing.
easy to
You
use.
and I both used it.
Yeah, and then want to let you know that the DeWitt tool, one of the tools is going to be that wonderful trowel with the bottle opener in it that we always talk about.
Right.
So lots of good stuff. All you got to be is a subscriber to our newsletter. So right now, go to our website, click on subscribe to the newsletter in the upper right-hand corner, and you will be entered into the raffle.
And you say that for all intents and purposes, the package is worth about $500 that we're giving away on this raffle?
Exactly. Yeah, and we'll ship it to anyone in the United States.
Wow, that is great.
Continental United States.
And you're going to love that veggie. Now, John, you have a kind of a smaller version of the veggie pod that you use.
I just use it for rooting cuttings.
For rooting cuttings,
right.
don't you?
Yeah, I really like it.
Does a great job.
Tiger just mentioned it's way too heavy to
soil.
Too expensive to ship soil. I saw somebody online last week that was shipping ocean forest potting soil, and it was free shipping.
But how much was the bag?
$60
Oh,
a bag.
What is Ocean 4 is usually in the store
About $35.
It's anywhere between.
No, it's like
it's
20
like
bucks.
$16 to $20.
Yeah.
Oh, is that all it
Yeah,
is? Really?
Yeah. So they're factoring $40 to ship that bag.
Anytime you hear of a company that's going to ship
like
something
free
for free or pay your sales tax, trust me, it's rolled into the cost that you're paying to begin with.
You can't do it for free.
You can't nothing. No, of course
There's no
not.
such thing as a free shipping.
We'll charge you $60, but we're going to send it to you free.
Hey, we have an email
It's called
here
moving
from,
money around. Go ahead, John.
From our friend Steve in Simi Valley.
Yes.
He says, hello, John, Bryan, and Tiger. I have a rose question. Will hydrogen peroxide and water mixture spread on roses in the evening get rid of aphids? And what ratio is it to use if that's a good remedy?
I don't think it will.
I don't either.
Nope.
The hydrogen peroxide's used mainly for disease control, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So
I guess
fungicide.
He would like an answer. How would you do it, John?
You know, I never had aphids last year. I mean, you get a few this time of year with the new lush
Buds.
growth they're coming out, but if you've got a balanced yard, pretty soon, all the predators come and eat them. But if you were to use that hydrogen peroxide mixture, and Steve, if you're listening, or anyone else, if you just Google hydrogen peroxide plants, you'll come up with all the dilutions and how to use it on plants. But if you mixed a little liquid soap in with that mixture, that might take care of both insects and diseases.
Yeah, because the oils, but I always think the easiest thing to do is go to a garden center and grab a bottle of neem oil.
Yeah,
or you
neem
could
oil.
mix some canola oil maybe with it.
Yeah.
What are we talking about, cooking here?
Yeah.
Well, no,
Cooking in
canola
plants.
oil, horticultural grade canola
Right.
oil is like neem oil, right?
Yeah.
So
Doesn't
that's the way to do it.
neem oil come from a tree in Africa?
From the neem tree.
The neem tree. Indigenous to Africa, South Africa?
I thought it was Asia.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, somewhere not in the United States.
Correct.
That's true.
I wonder if it gets any bugs.
Just because of the kind of tree it is?
Yeah,
well,
it's a
people
neem.
always used to talk about how good garlic was
Right.
to take care of insects.
Well, garlic's in spinosad, isn't it? Isn't that one of the ingredients?
No.
But it's in a lot of other things
is.
that we use.
Yes, you're right.
Yes.
Not so much anymore. It used to be an Envirapel. I think that's probably what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Envirapel and Citral.
So why not so much anymore? It's not really doing much of anything?
Well, the problem with all organic pesticides is there's not a lot of research that goes into them because you can't patent a natural molecule.
Okay, makes sense. Sure.
So like Bayer can patent their imidacloprid
Because they came up with it.
because they spend a lot of money on it too. But then they're the only ones that have it, so they're the only ones that can sell it, and they license it out to other people. But for garlic, you can't.
Garlic is garlic.
Anybody could produce that. And there's different methods of producing it, whether it's by heat or cold treatment. But that's the reason why there's not a lot of research into organics. Nobody's going to fund them. So anyway, that's the answer for Steve. Use that. That should take care of the aphids. Another thing you can do is just shoot the aphids with a strong stream of water.
Well, that's what I was going to say. A really strong stream of water should knock them off, right?
Yeah. Some people think that the aphids are just going to fly right back, but they're social insects.
They got to stick with one another.
Well, yeah, and they communicate with each other. So once you knock them off and they're laying on the ground, they don't know what to do.
They're all confused. We've got a question, Tiger, about
Patty.
Yeah, Western Sunset Magazine.
Yeah, well, she asked, do we think that they are going to release a new Sunset Garden book? Now, for our listeners that are on the East Coast, the Western Sunset Garden book was kind of known as the Bible here on the West Coast when it comes to plants. Lots of great information regionally for, how plants do, where they need to grow, plant sizes. It would have its own zoning map in the book, so we didn't just use the USDA zone, which was
24
very big.
zones instead of 11.
And it was just for our region.
Right.
And so it really got detailed in a lot of ways. I hope nobody from Sunset is listening, but the last publication that they released, I think, was in 2012, which is, 7 years ago. And they did update it every so often. But the last one that they released, I just felt they took a couple steps backwards. Just because, they used to have wonderful pictures and, lots of good information.
Cutting costs.
And I think that's, what they did. And rightly so. I mean, are people buying
Understandable,
books
sure.
nowadays? It's not so as popular. But I felt that, they kind of, so I hope that they do release a new one, Patty. I hope to their old ways of, putting the book together with, good pictures, good descriptions, and some good information.
So not only was 2012 the last year that you saw, not even online with updated information?
I don't think that they have an updated Sunset book right now. And
wow.
I do imagine they do. I mean, man, they used to update it about every 4 to 5 years. And maybe they're taking a little bit longer this time because it's a much slower selling item.
Rethinking the direction they're going.
Yeah. But, I will say that without the Sunset book, the Sunset group, where they put the magazine and the book together, they do have a great website with a lot of good information. And there are a lot of good websites out there. But, for those of you that are book connoisseurs or
I thought you were going to say literate.
those of our listeners that are literate.
That want to have that book in their hand. It's tough. I don't know. What do you think, John? Do you think they're going to release a new one?
Well, the person to ask would be Lance Walheim, because he was the editor of the Sunset book for many years.
We'll have to hit him up next time we talk.
And find out. When I moved here from Michigan, and I would go to bed at night reading the Sunset Western Garden book. That's how I learned the plants out here.
So
because I really felt like an idiot when I came out here, because I was working in a garden center, and somebody would come out and they'd say, "Do you have any hawthorn?" And Indian hawthorn. Indian hawthorn's what they were talking about. And I'm thinking Crataegus, which is a hawthorn tree that we grew back in Michigan. And, they're looking at me really strange because it's one of the most common landscape plants. So I think it took me about a year, but I went through the whole book.
Yeah.
You came at it
kind of a nerdy thing, I know.
Came at it from Michigan. How long did that take by wagon train?
Took 3 days driving.
It's quite a trek.
3 days.
Well, wait, when we were in England and they kept describing the lime tree, I'm like, that's not a lime tree. I was like,
oh, what were they calling that? Was it a linden?
Linden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kept calling them lime trees.
Yeah, they kept calling them lime trees. I'm like, they don't bear any fruit on that tree.
Nothing at all. A linden?
A linden. Yep.
We don't grow lindens in Southern California.
Okay,
kind of nice trees.
Break time. Let's get your Facebook questions and comments posted up there on our Facebook page here, Garden America Radio. Thank you so much for joining us. Facebook Live, also Biz Talk Radio, 855-424-9825. We're going to step aside, take a break as we approach 17 minutes after the hour here on Garden America.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
This is Joe Lample from Growing a Greener World. With the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite Organic Nitrogen Fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 3 months. The organic nitrogen is slow release and won't burn plants even during hot, dry weather. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for 90 years. Milorganite, for better results naturally. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Attention! Are you moving soon and don't know who to turn to? If you are moving or planning to move long distance or across the country, Moving APT is offering up to a 20% discount for radio callers this month. Let us handle and remove all the pain and stress in a long-distance move. Let Moving APT help you with your all-inclusive move, including packaging services, help with washers and dryers, mounted TVs, bed frames, and more. We can include packing and unpacking services or ask for boxes, tape, bubble wrap, or labels. We also disassemble and reassemble appliances difficult and stressful, so call Moving APT today to find the most professional movers to support you. If you're looking for a low-cost quote to move long distance or across the country, call us now. Call 800-916-9057. 800-916-9057. Get a guaranteed quote with up to 20% off. 800-916-9057.
I can't get my computer to work.
Let me help you with that.
How'd you do that?
I just got techie with Geeks on Site.
Our geeks literally come on site. No need to stop what you're doing or block off time. We come to your home, office, or wherever you are. And we don't just fix whatever computer issues you might be having. We explain and teach you along the way so you can feel empowered and then help others at home or in your office. Better yet, don't have time for tech support to come to you? Let us remote into your desktop or laptop, and one of our geeks will instantly walk you through. Call 1-800-584-9039 and we will help you instantly. We offer affordable prices on our remote services and IT support. You and those in your office will never have to wait hours to have your technical questions answered. Get your free computer diagnosis today with your very own geek. Call 1-800-584-9039. That's 1-800-584-9039. And get started now.
Do you have an old car sitting in your driveway? How would you like to learn a hassle-free way to get rid of it, help kids in need, and get a great tax donation in the process? It's real easy. One simple free call to our car donation hotline is all it takes. Call the Nishama Foundation at 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. We'll come pick your car up for free and give you a tax donation for the full value of the car, running or not. The value of your unwanted car will go to help kids in need. It's fast and easy. Just call us and your car will be gone and on its way to helping children in 48 hours. And you get a nice tax deduction. Call the Nishama Foundation now to get rid of your car, help kids, and get a tax write-off. Call 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. That's 800-721-6723.
Missed an episode of your favorite show? No worries. Catch all the episodes on demand at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America radio show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at GardenAmerica.com.
It is Garden America, and of course, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. I'm Bryan Main. Good to have you there. Thank you for supporting our show. Be sure to download the iHeart Media app and also watch our podcast on Facebook. We do record our podcast on Facebook. And, of course, the audio is a link that's put into our newsletter. John puts it in there. It'll take you right to that podcast page as well. So you can either watch live, you can rewatch it later, or listen to it and then come up with your own visuals in your mind as you listen.
You know, one thing when we were doing the podcast, we kind of, would create a topic, and you guys and I would sit here and be like, okay, this is what our podcast is going to be about. And, we would do it. But
we just talk about it.
And we get into depths, on bulbs or tomatoes or planting or cuttings or anything. But, I think since we do the Facebook Live now, when we're going to do a podcast, I think we should put it out before, because it used to be just for us and then we would release it to iHeart and they would just post it. So they didn't need to know what was coming up.
Well, I would upload it.
I'm just saying, but we didn't need to know what was coming up, or we didn't need to tell people necessarily what was coming up. But I think what we saw in this last podcast is if we tell people what's coming up and what we're going to be doing a podcast about, they were actually into the show. And we were having questions during our podcast that people would ask about the tomatoes. We'll have to do that. I think we're going to probably do one next week.
Probably next week, yes.
And so what we'll do is we'll release what that topic's going to be maybe the week before. Maybe in our newsletter we'll talk about
exactly. So
what
then
that will
you can watch it live, watch it later, and then of
ask
course,
questions.
and then listen if you didn't catch it. Either way, so 3 ways to do it: listen live, watch the video back, and then just go to our podcast page via iHeartMedia and listen to it times as you want to. That's the great part. You can pause, listen. If you didn't catch something, listen back to it, and then go from there. So it's been quite successful. So the latest one that we posted is on tomatoes.
Yeah, good info. Good info on planting and choosing right varieties. So good stuff.
On our newsletter this week was a little article about the yellow geraniums.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to let our listeners know that we have a beautiful crop that's going to be available in 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half. And you can go online to gardenamerica.com and order the yellow geraniums right now. And they're $7.95, which is the same price as last year. But we have an awesome deal, which is you get 3 for, I think it's $17.95.
Yeah.
So take advantage of that.
Yellow geraniums. Go to gardenamerica.com.
And by geranium, we're talking about pelargoniums. So what people commonly call like the old red geraniums, they now have a yellow version. And something people tried for years to come up with. And this variety is called First Yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's First Yellow improved because the First Yellow was not improved and it was kind of a weak grower. And this is really nice and really, really good for warm areas too, because geraniums in Southern California are really nice when you first plant them, but people don't take care of them. They just, since they don't die in the winter like they do back east, they kind of get out of hand unless you prune them back. But the First Yellow geranium is compact. The blooms themselves are a little bit smaller than the red geraniums, but still really, really pretty. I was telling you guys earlier that the ones I planted last fall at my house are blooming right now, and they're spectacular. Really like them. I think you sold some at your garden center last year.
Yeah, no, it was a real popular plant. And, as you say, it is improved. It does pretty well. And, I had one a year ago when we first got them in, and I loved it. I don't have that plant any longer. I don't know what happened to it, but rabbit ate it or something.
Might be able to hook you up.
One yellow geranium.
One.
Only one. What's
So anyway, go to gardenamerica.com and reserve those now. Also, I had a couple people send me emails that have placed orders for vegetables, for grafted tomatoes. And there in the newsletter this week was a little article about the apricot zebra. And people were wanting to know if they could add that tomato to their order. And if you send me a note, yes, you can. So orders at gardenamerica.com, just send a little note that you want to add a tomato, and we can do it. The apricot zebra is kind of cool because it's a golf ball sized tomato. And it's apricot color and has light green stripes going through it, which is where the zebra comes from. Mm-hmm. But the stripes disappear when the tomato's ripe. So you know when to pick it.
Oh, it's like one of those little little when you're cooking and you have some
the thermometer where a meat thermometer pops up.
Yeah,
exactly like that.
Boom.
So
now's the time.
The stripes disappear and then it's ripe. Go ahead.
What do you do with a golf ball sized tomato though?
You throw it at somebody as hard as you can.
But no, like it's not big enough to be a slicing tomato. It's too big to be one of those like cherry tomatoes that you can just throw into a salad.
No, but you can't cut them for salads.
Yeah.
They're usually referred to as 2-bite tomatoes.
Oh.
Because it's not a cherry tomato you pop in your mouth, but you need 2 bites to eat it.
Hey, there goes old 2-bite tomato. Great.
Old 2-bite.
It's a great tomato.
Good old 2-bite.
You're right, though. I think cutting them up, right? Maybe make a sandwich tomato out of it.
Well, the slicing tomatoes that you use for sandwiches, it's Tiger's right. It's not small for that.
You like Big Zac,
but it's
right?
Great for cutting into salads.
Yeah. Dicing.
Yeah. Big Zac is one huge tomato.
For sandwiches, would you?
You know what is almost as big, if not bigger than Big Zac, is Virginia Sweets, which we may be sold out of now. I'm not really sure. But we had a listener that bought a Virginia Sweets tomato from us and then sent us a picture of it on a scale, and it was over 6 pounds.
Wow, from us?
Yeah.
We sold a 6-pound tomato.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't 6 pounds when we sold it.
Right, but it came to fruition at 6 pounds.
Yeah.
And is Virginia Sweets one of those ones that needs the rebar cage? Is it a big plant?
It's almost all the grafted tomatoes are big plants.
Okay.
Yeah, they would need cages.
Yeah, the smaller tomatoes that don't need big cages would be the super dwarfs. And we have Iditarod Red this year, and in the new one, which is Maori Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Iditarod, would that be good for toward the coast?
I think you grow it just about anywhere.
Because Iditarod, I think of, snow. I think of ice.
Can't grow it in the snow or ice.
Can't grow it in the snow or ice.
No, it's just a little bit too cold.
It's not a tomato that they took with them on the Iditarod.
No, not at all. Okay, we're approaching, 29 minutes after the hour. Got a break coming up here in about a minute. Anything new on Facebook we should be addressing that you guys can see? Or John hasn't refreshed his page yet?
Yeah. Somebody had commented on. It's going to take a second.
That's okay. Dead air is nice. We just have a nice quiet.
nice moment to reflect.
Quiet here in the studio.
It's like a Zen moment. Just relax.
Relax. Because I think that music's going to be playing here in a minute.
Janice talked about boosting the aphid predators with ladybugs and praying mantis this season. So,
Oh, she made a comment about Lake Tahoe, which we'll mention when we come back.
12 inches of
under snow. Yeah, keep those comments coming, whether it's a question or comment right there on Facebook Live. We do appreciate it. You can reach us at 855-424-9825, John at Gardentopia.com. Biz Talk Radio, I'm Bryan, Main, Facebook Live, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco coming right back.
Have you heard about Biz TV? Biz TV is the home for America's entrepreneurs, small businesses, and those who want to succeed in life. It's the only national television network committed to airing original, high-quality, educational, and inspirational programming about real business people. Biz TV can provide the right kind of ideas, motivation, and education to help fuel the next generation of business owners. Visit biztv.com and call your satellite or cable service provider to request Biz TV.
Attention all authors. Page Publishing is looking for authors. Have you written a book and want to get it published? Page Publishing will get your book into bookstores and for sale online. Cover, copyright, and edit. Call 800-557-6095 now for your free author submission kit. That's 800-557-6095 for your free author submission kit. Again, call 800-557-6095.
Nobody wants to get ripped off, broken into, or robbed, but nobody wants to pay a lot of money to have their home protected either. I've got an offer to tell you about to provide home security for your home for less than $1 a day. For real, with no installation or equipment charges. And this is from a company rated #1 by a leading consumer research company. According to the facts, most of you won't even call unless there's a burglary in your neighborhood or something bad happened. So let's give you a reason. Save money. For less than $1 a day with no other costs, you can get your home secured. Plus, get a lifetime equipment replacement warranty. You need protection for your home. Call the Home Security Hotline right now.
800-915-8941. 800-915-8941. 800-915-8941. Call right now. Operators are standing by. 800-915-8941.
If you suffer from heartburn or other digestive-related disorders, then there is a new, safe, better, and natural alternative to better digestive wellness and heartburn relief. Praxid not only provides relief of heartburn, but Praxid takes a 360-degree approach to support better digestion, protect you from harmful bacteria, and also balance your stomach to improve digestive functions.
We like to think of it as the multivitamin of digestive health.
It's the only product to combine all natural ingredients known for the digestive health properties into a single patented product. Praxid also comes in easy-to-carry packs. Praxid relieves, restores, and maintains a healthy digestive system. Praxid is available here for only $39.95. Shipping and handling is free, and your money back is guaranteed.
To take advantage of this special radio offer, call now. 1-800-829-5685. That's 1-800-829-5685. 1-800-829-5685.
Americans are going crazy for a new Italian diet pill that burns 3 times more fat than dieting alone. And the next 100 callers get 3 bottles for free. Sold under the brand name Invigorate 3X. This powerful pill triggers metabolic acceleration, a process that's deficient in most Americans, making weight loss a hassle. But a new study shows 30 pounds gone in 90 days with just 2 capsules a day. Julie B. of Nashville says, I was skeptical, but when I saw a famous doctor made it, I decided to try it. I was shocked. I lost 16 pounds in 6 weeks. For a limited time, our listeners get 3 free bottles with a qualifying order. Call 1-800-932-1789 now to get started. Call in the next 10 minutes and also get a free bottle of the doctor's Ultra Detox. And don't forget your free 14-day diet fix. No obligation and 100% free when you call right now. 800-932-1789. 800-932-1789.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
Watch some of your favorite shows on Biz TV. Check to see if you get Biz TV by going to biztv.com. And now back to Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at GardenAmerica.com.
And we are right back here, Facebook Live, of course, Biz Talk Radio, John at GardenAmerica.com, 855-424-9825. Thank you for being right there. This is hour number 2 at about 35 minutes after the hour, talking about everything today.
Yeah, and before we went to the break, we had one of our listeners writing on Facebook, and she had mentioned that she uses aphids and praying mantis for natural bug control for aphids.
Praying mantis, they're nasty.
Well, she said so cool. She just uses it to boost the natural predators.
Right, but I mean, if you're an insect, you don't want to go up against a praying mantis.
Definitely not.
Tear you apart. And who's
if you're a male praying mantis, you don't want to go up against a female praying mantis.
True, huh? Who's under snow this morning?
And that was Jan also, right?
In Tahoe?
Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
She said it's the deepest snow she's ever seen in Tahoe this time of year.
It's amazing.
Boy, the skiing's been great this year for everybody who likes to ski. My gosh.
No more drought in California.
That's what they say.
And was this rain shower last couple of days a little surprise? Yesterday it rained, and you said, John, you live north. You had no rain at all.
We had a little bit of drizzle, but it was weird because we had drizzle in the morning. Then the sun came out and it was warm. Then it got cold and dark and a little bit of drizzle again.
And tomorrow's supposed to heat up. I mean, like big time.
Yeah, I think we have 2 warm days coming. Monday is supposed to be in the 80s and near 90 in some areas. But then back into the 60s again.
You know what's funny is that we've had this good amount of rain and cloudy skies,
we're so proud of ourselves,
which is good. It is good for us to have this. It's definitely not a bad thing, but it does go to show you how Southern Californians are weak to the weather, because I remember just after we had about a 2-week stint of some good rains,
people complaining,
well, not just complaining, people's attitudes were, that whole idea of the, where people in Seattle and these places that are covered in rain all the time,
it's
and they
always
get this
gray,
and they get this kind of somber kind of attitude. I saw that in like a week.
I will admit,
people here in San Diego.
Last weekend we had one day that was really sunny and it was nice. It was like, this is beautiful.
Right?
This is great.
People's attitudes changed and everything, and then it went back to cloudy, and it just went back to that somber, just not having fun thing.
But this should be a easier year for those that have challenges growing things.
Oh yeah,
because of the rain. So you've got a head start.
I've seen things growing that I haven't seen for years.
Right?
With the rain, everything's coming up, blooming, doing really well.
Mm-hmm. I was in Temecula yesterday, and I was planting some trees in a completely unirrigated area of Temecula. And they got a little bit of rain, in the past day or so. But completely unirrigated, very sandy, just, not really good soil. I dug down, and after 2 inches, it was so damp.
You hit water.
Yeah, it's just saturated
And
everywhere.
That's the key right there.
Right.
The rain's over, but it's holding.
It's holding in the ground now, which is good. So that's excellent. It hasn't just fallen down into the soil for nowhere. We are getting a few comments. Can you read those? Because they're...
Have we viewed the wildflowers?
Yeah. John's got them in his backyard.
I think she's wondering if we've... she might be wondering if we've gone out to the desert, which I did not do. But all up and down the freeway, there's wildflowers everywhere. California poppies.
What about the
African
flower fields in Carlsbad?
Ranunculus.
They should be in full bloom right now.
They are.
Should be beautiful.
Yeah, if you do go to the flower fields in Carlsbad, don't forget to go up to the area where the coffee is and watch the coffee growing. Well, don't watch it.
Yeah.
Just take a look at it.
It'd be nice
to sit and watch the coffee
grow.
grow.
Take a drone over the flower fields. Get some nice aerial shots.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
We have a question that says, should you always plant tomatoes in fresh soil? And I think he's probably talking about in containers.
Yeah. I'm assuming in containers. I mean, in raised plants are bad.
Or the other point that he might be shooting for is if you just have regular dirt or soil and you've already had something there in the past, can you put tomatoes in there?
Yeah.
If you've had something else growing that you've recently taken out, maybe.
Okay, because they'd usually recommend moving tomatoes every 2 to 3 years.
Right.
And that's so you don't get buildup of verticillium wilt or fusarium blight in the soil.
Yep.
And once you've got that, you can't get rid of it. So they recommend moving. If you're using grafted tomatoes like we sell, it doesn't make any difference.
It wouldn't make any difference
right,
because the rootstock is going to be
resistant to all that.
Okay.
If it's in a container, most people recommend
changing the dirt,
throwing it out, and putting in new soil. Since I don't have a garden center, I wouldn't do that. I would just refurbish the soil that was there. I would, pull out the roots, and then as long as you're fertilizing, I think you can just reuse that soil and add fresh soil. But
if you did
don't take my word for it.
But if you did have wilt, you wouldn't want to do that. And as
right,
I
but
mentioned,
the odds of getting it, if you've used a good potting soil, the odds
Yeah.
that it's in a pot are not very big.
Not very big.
Yeah.
Was I smart to apply Osmocote last weekend, John?
Yeah.
Were you smart? You love affirmation, don't you?
Good job. Pat on the back, Brian.
Because I mentioned it earlier.
Good boy.
And it was kind of an off the mic comment, and John said, "Oh, you applied Osmocote, did you?" I'm like, okay, what did that mean?
Well, I use Osmocote usually in containers just because I don't have time to keep up on my fertilizing.
Mhm.
So when you put Osmocote in, it's not an organic food, but it's a slow release. So it's releasing over about 4 months, 3 to 4 months. And so I do it once and I don't have to worry about doing it again. The best way to do it would be to have a regular fertilizing program. But in containers.
And
way to do
Osmocote
it.
on there. Probably overdid it.
No, you can't overdo it.
I
with
know, but I mean,
Milorganite.
it wasn't really needed, but I did it anyway. If it's
Oh,
on the shelf. If it's on the shelf, I'm using it.
Yeah. Right? Throw in some HB 101.
Yep.
Hydrogen peroxide.
Hey, by the way,
But this is the time of year, now that you mention it, to be getting out the fertilizers. And anywhere in the country, it's time to fertilize just as you're going into a spring growing season, which
Yep.
is what we're doing right now. In San Diego, we're done with cold weather.
Mhm.
The temperature might still get down into the low 50s or maybe even high 40s at night, but everything is starting to grow. Things are just taking off. I noticed my crepe myrtle, which is always late to leaf out, is leafing out now.
It's a late bloomer.
And that's, I think the last tree that I have that ever leaves out is the fringe tree.
Oh, yeah?
And that hasn't started to leaf out yet. And I have an eastern redbud, what is it called? Ruby Falls, the weeping.
The weeping one?
Yeah. That's just flowering right now. So it's later than the native
Mhm.
or the western redbuds.
My aristocrat pear is budding, but not in budding. I mean, the leaves are budding, but I haven't seen any leaves yet.
But it's flowered already.
Yeah, it's already done flowered. Yeah.
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 Veggie pot update. What's taking off? What's the first thing you're going to be harvesting and pulling out?
Cilantro.
Attaboy.
Yeah. Cilantro
Yep.
and And I decided that I'm going to do it with cilantro and some carrots. And what was the last thing my kids picked? I let my kids pick what we were going to put into it. It was cilantro, carrots, some basil, and we're going to do a pepper.
You know, so they're into this, huh? Watching all this happen, and
they love it.
And then they know that it's grown, and it's going to go on the table. You're going to eat it, and so they understand the difference at a young age between a grocery store and how things are really done.
Yeah, and they planted some sweet peas a few weeks back, and those are starting to come up, so they're taking care of them.
That's great.
We planted some California poppies, and they're coming up. Yeah, I got to figure out where I'm going to put those. I think I'm going to hide them behind my podocarpus. Don't you think that'd be kind of neat growing behind the podocarpus?
How is your podocarpus doing? You had one or two that didn't make it.
Right. But no, the other ones are doing great.
They're all rooted in this weather, the fall, through the winter, the cooler weather with lots of rain should have really helped.
So the variety I put in was Mackay, the kind of more compact one. And it's funny. I go from full sun to the end where it's kind of part shade because there's another tree. The part shade area instantly got sooty mold and stuff on it. Yeah. But then the sun ones all look beautiful. So I've had to kind of take care of those ones on the end a little bit more than the full sun ones.
It's like, my patio because, in the wintertime, the sun, I don't get direct sunlight. I barely get any sun at all. Now it's just now starting to get into the patio. So over the winter, I deal with moss. I've got moss in certain shady areas, and I've got to get a power hose. I got to do a power wash pretty soon because
there's a
bad.
Spray.
Yeah,
there's a spray that you can spray in the area to kill it, and to keep it from growing back.
Just right on the pavers?
Yeah, right on the pavers, yeah.
Do you remember what it was called or what it is called?
I can't remember. I'll find
can
out.
you bring him some?
Yeah,
Moss Away. Moss Away.
Oh, sure. It's got to be called Moss Away.
There used to be a product called Moss Be Gone.
I'm sure.
But then they realized that wasn't. Okay, it is, let's see, about 45 minutes after the hour. One more segment coming up on this Saturday morning. Thank you for joining us. If you're on the East Coast, we say Saturday afternoon to you. 855-424-9825. John at GardenAmerica.com. Facebook Live. Bryan, Maine. John Bagnasco. Tiger Palafox.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
This message is sponsored by AmeriGlide, featuring the nation's best prices on a home stair lift. Are you having a difficult time getting around your home? Do you avoid going up and down the stairs? Have you even considered moving from your lifelong home just to avoid the stairs? Forget about moving and call AmeriGlide and learn how an easy-to-install stair lift is the perfect solution to help you get your freedom back. Plus, we guarantee the nation's best prices. Make this free call today to learn more. No sales visits are necessary. We can help you over the phone. Now you can stay in the home you've been in for decades. Please do yourself, your loved one, a favor. Make this simple 2-minute call right now. Get the lowest price on a stair lift anywhere. Here's the number: 800-886-7342. 800-886-7342. 800-886-7342. That's 800-886-7342.
Do you owe $10,000 or more on at least 2 federal student loans? Then you may qualify for new programs offered by the Department of Education. These programs can reduce your interest, lower your payments, and possibly qualify you for loan forgiveness. If you have $10,000 or more and at least 2 federal student loans and currently not in school, you may qualify for one of these programs. Call now to check your eligibility. Student loan advisors are standing by to help you determine if you qualify for these new programs. They can help you reduce your interest, lower your payment, and even forgive a portion of your student loan debt. Take control of your financial future. Make this free 5-minute free call now to Nationwide Student Loans and learn how you can reduce your student loan debt.
800-439-1588, 800-439-1588, 800-439-1588, 800-439-1588.
My mom's a breast cancer survivor. The United Breast Cancer Foundation saved her life. Their free breast cancer exam caught the cancer early, and it saved her life. But now the foundation needs your help so they can continue offering free or breast screening exams, saving more women's lives. Help them by donating your car, whether it's running or not. They'll provide fast, free 24-hour pickup, and you receive a charitable tax deduction, plus the great feeling you'll get knowing your donated car is going to help save more lives. Just call 800-295-4183 to set the wheels in motion. They take cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, running or not. Call 800-295-4183. The United Breast Cancer Foundation needs your help, and your donation could literally save women's lives, helping them catch breast cancer early, like they did with my mom. Donate today. 800-295-4183. 800-295-4183.
Due to an upturn in the economy, Main Street Business Loans has pre-approved the release of millions of dollars in small business funding. Your business may already be pre-approved to receive up to $250,000. We've sent out millions of pre-approval letters. We see the economy growing, and our underwriters believe now is the time to invest in your business so you can grow faster and make more money. And we're prepared to give you up to $250,000 to do it. Your funds can be available in 5 days. There are no application fees, no annual fees, just quick access to up to $250,000. If your business did not receive your approval letter to get up to $250,000, call Main Street Business Loans Approval Desk now.
800-430-7570, 800-430-7570, 800-430-7570. That's 800-430-7570.
From Main Street to Wall Street, we have the business content you need. So sit back, take notes, and tell your friends about Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
Just like that, our final segment, quick 2 hours. It is 51 minutes after the hour. Thank you for watching us on Facebook Live. And those of you streaming on Biz Talk Radio, 855-424-9825. So questions, comments, you can, as we slowly wrap things up, you can post them right there on our Facebook page, Tiger.
This time of year when we get a lot of questions and comments about, the basic stuff, we get the tomatoes, the planting flowers and things like that. It just reminds me, like kind of what we talked about in the show, that there's still a lot of people out there that have the fear of gardening.
Right.
And I do want to remind people that, through the week, if you think of these questions, think of these problems that you have, send us a message on our Facebook, attach a picture to it.
Sure.
And we'll get back to you. I answer all kinds of questions via the Facebook, site throughout the week. Because, people utilize it. It's just not a matter of us being here on Saturday mornings ready to go.
That's a great point.
Go to Facebook. You can upload a picture. You can send us a private message, and we'll reply back to you with all the good info. And the cool thing about that, too, is it not only allows us to address the issue, but we can also include the links on maybe the products we're talking about.
Exactly. See the picture, see the problem, put a link to as we respond to it. And which will also help John not have quite so many emails during the week, because it's ridiculous how many he gets. So Tiger brings up a good point right there on our Facebook page. Message us, put a picture up there, and ask your question, maybe make a comment.
Yeah, and if you post it publicly, sometimes you get the chatter started between other people with experiences about, what they did, which was successful. Maybe they're in your area and they have firsthand knowledge of your problem, or things like that. So
send us
use
pictures.
the Facebook.
I know last week
as much
Steve
as
sent us a
possible.
picture. We posted that on Facebook. It may end up in the newsletter. So,
Yeah.
but Tiger brings up a good point. During the week, you don't have to wait just for the weekend. You can be active during the week with a picture and your questions.
Yeah,
and we'll try to respond as quick as we can.
I had my the banks around my new property hydroseeded last week, and I asked the person that did it how often it needed to be watered, and he said, well, 3 times a day or not at all.
Okay, and please explain.
Well, that's what I'm trying to decide is what should I do? Because 3 times a day is if you want it to germinate and grow.
Right.
And he said if you don't water it at all, then it'll just sit there till next fall when it rains, and then it'll come up.
And you want to decide timing-wise which would be better, to have it start now or wait till your house is more established?
Yeah. What do you think?
I would leave it.
You would?
Yeah,
Don't
because
water it?
because when
Because
you
it's going to be there's some annual rye in there and
then
wildflowers,
you
and they're going to come up and die.
And you've
right, if I water it.
You've committed yourself. You've committed yourself once you start, right?
Well, I think that the issue is like you say, they're going to come up and they're going to die. So
Right.
there's going to be, it's going to be more or less look very weedy
Right.
throughout the whole year. It's kind of a waste. Why not just let it come up in the fall? Keep the area clean,
Mhm.
keep the area kept, and then let it naturally come up in the fall.
And by that time, your
That's what I'm
house
gonna do.
will be under construction.
Hope so.
I would see that coming up in the spring, and I would just think of how much work that would be to keep it looking nice, because it would bother me when
Right.
it started looking bad.
Yep,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? So
Well, we only did it in order to get
permits for grading.
permits, right? And we're going to landscape those
Yeah.
areas anyway.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm still thinking of using Carapia.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something intriguing about the Carapia. I took Shannon home a little piece from Plug Connection where my office is, and I showed it to her so she would see what it looked like.
Mhm.
And then I took that little piece and just threw it down on the ground up in the top area where my cowrie tree is, and it's probably tripled in size since then.
So you just threw it in the ground?
I just threw it on the ground.
This is
yeah.
like Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah, rooted into the ground.
Yeah.
It's spreading. It looks really nice. It's low. I think that's probably one of the best things to do.
We have a comment or a question from Michelle, and she's asking, any ideas on trying to grow cilantro? She hasn't been successful, which I don't want to sound bad.
You and I were successful in the veggie pot.
But
now wait, her question wasn't ideas on how to grow cilantro.
Oh no,
no, it's how to grow the best
Oh.
cilantro.
The best. Well, I think what I grew is the best I've ever had.
So, I will say that, number one, if your problem is growing it in general, it's probably, a watering thing, because it needs a good amount of water to grow cilantro. I mean, I just feel if you plant it in a pot with some potting soil and you are growing either from a starter or from seed, you keep it wet and it grows.
It does, yes. And that's what the veggie pot does. It keeps everything moist.
Yeah. So, if that is a problem for you getting it started, maybe we can dive a little bit into detail on that. But if it's a problem where you're growing it and then it goes to flower, because cilantro bolts real quickly in warm weather, that's a different problem where you get the plant to grow and then it has flowers on it, and then the plant just looks anemic and unhealthy and begins to die right after that. And that is due because of the bolting cycle. The flowering cycle is now killing the plant, which you just need to cut it to prevent it from flowering, which will stop that kind of natural death cycle. There is the slow bolt cilantro.
Right, a relatively new variety of cilantro called slow bolt. Can't say slow bolt 5 times fast.
Slow bolt.
And it's spelled SLOBOLT, slow bolt.
Yeah.
So, and you could find the seeds anywhere. Do you still sell it at your store?
Yeah. Yep. And so, I mean, she.
Did you
it's
see?
kind of tough.
She has kind of an addendum or
No.
something
Can you
to
read
add.
it?
She says, let's see. She bought an established plant,
Okay.
tried to transplant it, and it just died out.
It's probably a little bit of a transplant issue,
I think
maybe
so.
a watering issue.
But
Because
that's a good point. It does much better from seed
Yes.
than to transplant.
It actually, well, yeah, and you and I both started ours from seed.
Yeah. So, what I would do for you is my best advice would be to get some seeds, plant them into some small, maybe 4-inch pots, because they don't need a lot, of soil. Keep the seeds damp, let the plants grow, and then you can just use them out of the 4-inch pots, because you're not going to need it to be in a bigger pot, and you're not going to continually use this cilantro. What you should probably do is plant maybe 2 to 3 of them, and then 2 weeks later plant another 2 to 3 of them, depending on how much
you
cilantro.
always have fresh cilantro.
So you always have
exactly.
it, because you're going to end up using one whole plant almost, every time you use it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Depending on what you're using it in. So that would be my suggestion: is start from seed, use little 4-inch pots, use some good potting soil, and keep it wet.
All right, I want to thank Zach, our director and studio coordinator, back at the mothership, keeping us on the air. Thank you for tuning in and watching us on Facebook, those streaming on Biz Talk Radio, and, of course, those who listen to hour number 1 here in San Diego on AM 1240. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for supporting us. We'll do it again next weekend. For the entire crew, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco, I'm Bryan May. Until then, get growing, America. Take care. See you next time.
Listen on the go. Download the Biz